Hey, good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and with me back in the co-host seat, my girl. You know her, you love her. She doesn't live there, but it's Stephanie Canada.
That is correct, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing quite well.
We are going to promote your channel later, but I want to thank you because just watching your channel, because you make videos and then edit, which I'm mainly live, I don't put stuff in after the fact. I wanted to make my opening better, and so the countdown timer was just generic. I'm like, I should be advertising, so I worked on it this week, and so thanks for just being you and having inspiration to get off my lazy ass and do better for myself.
Happy to help, however I can.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Oh, I don't know if Craig's in the chat yet. But look at this new way. I didn't know StreamYard did this. See how nice and neat the little thing down here looks, where John's thing, the comment I just popped up shows the person's name a lot better, shows what their reply.
And apparently he knows how I answer in the theater, because that's literally what my crew shouts at me when they want my attention. I hear from across theater, "Oh, Canada." Like, yes, can I help you?
So basically what I'm saying is it's a community of all of us that we learn from each other. That's why we do this show. It's why I have my groups, because I don't mind to share everything. And I take from my friends who do things better than me, like Stephanie and Craig had a much better way to show it. I'm like, is that new? Oh, it is. Whoops. I never saw that.
Nice.
All right, let's get right to it. Let's jump into our first little segment here, because this one's going to be a little bit different than the norm. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. And our guests this week are Dave and Liz Ng. They're back.
Hi.
Hey, we're glad to be here.
Yeah.
What's happening, guys?
Hey, it's happening.
It is happening.
All right, now, this is usually rum time, but we're going to do something a little bit different today. And I will have our guests tell us why. So hold on. Let me make my cocktail.
No pressure, kids. No pressure.
Yeah. All right. So the cocktail of choice tonight is Bud Light.
Oh, I think we know where this is headed.
In my karate punch tiki mug.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome.
Yes, I like what you did here.
All right. So what did I do here?
Okay, there's a story about there's a Chinatown bar that may be just outside of Chinatown called 169 Bar. And we were there with Jason. It's in New York City.
Best dive bar.
Yeah, it's
ever.
a great dive bar, and if you need to drink when you're in Chinatown and then
Or
dumplings.
raw oysters. They have
Yeah,
good
they have
raw
oysters, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and
there used to be really good dumplings across the street.
Yeah.
But then they moved farther down the street, and now they're closed.
Yeah, they're
due
closed.
to coronavirus.
Yeah, unfortunately, but they're on Instagram, so we hope that they'll pop back up at some point.
You know, I'm good at sniffing out great dive bars, but we love meeting Dave and Liz in New York City when we're in the city. And they're like, come on, we're going to this dive bar. And we get in there. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm in heaven. I love this place. And I'd never been there. And then they take us for these great dinners in Chinatown. So I figured for you guys tonight, a beer in a Chinese tiki mug.
I love that.
Love
yeah.
it. That is awesome. Can't wait for you to come back to New York. Can't wait to go back to New York myself.
Yeah, no kidding. I think it's my first beer on the show, I think.
Yeah. And
All
I
right,
do
Steph, what do you got? You got Bud Light too?
I am also on the beer train, but it is not what is advertised here. It is a chocolate stout from Ye Olde Trader Joe's, because it's good.
Excellent.
Nice. And what do you guys got, Dave and Liz?
Well, I do have a Denizen glass.
Nice.
And
Sadly, it's just sparkling water because
it's a little late for us.
I feel like we get stupid when we drink.
Yeah.
You could have been like, it's just a big old glass of gin. That's what you could have done that. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. All right. So Dave and Liz are here to talk about a couple things, car parts, and having an eBay store with car parts and everything else. Because some people worry, if I have a specialty, should I have a separate store for this and then everything else over here, or should I just all jam it together? So that's what we're going to talk about today, and how Dave got into car parts. And it's a follow-up from 6 years ago.
Yes, I believe it's that long.
Too long.
Wow.
Way too long. So All right, you guys sit back and relax, and
Will
we'll
do.
see you in a little bit. Good to see everybody in the chat. Hi, everybody. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Good to see everybody. Hello. Now I got beer all over my trackpad. Hold, please.
Oh God.
When your trackpad is wet, it makes it a little tough to use.
Yeah, that would definitely do it.
Yeah, see, I didn't mean to put Marianne on there, although it's fine. But
Hello, Marianne.
wet trackpads do weird things. So, all right, keep the beer off your trackpad. Okay. Okay.
Pro tip. There you go.
Pro tip. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Yep, there we go.
All right. So, Disney by Neff. So this one went real high. I'm not going to lie. Most of the time when you see a Disney by Neff shirt, you're looking at like a $20, $30 return. So don't put much into it. However, I stumbled across this lovely Pinocchio one that they do Pinocchio so rarely that it merited. Yeah, I had it listed at 100 and I took a best offer of 75 plus shipping.
That is an awesome shirt.
It was a cool shirt. I'm not going to lie. And it was, also go hunt in the women's section because I found that men's shirt in the women's section.
Because it has pink in it. Duh.
Yep, absolutely. All right. And then the reason this is here is because, it's not every day that you see a Hawaiian shirt with the slushy bear on it, but that is actually the Icy Bear promo shirt from last year that I'm sure there was some big event planned. Cue the ba-dum-bum, because that didn't happen. Either way, I'm showing this because this shirt paired up with the Neff shirt to ship to the same buyer in Hawaii.
Oh,
and
nice.
Because I had negotiated on the first one, we negotiated on the second one, and I ended up selling this one for, I think it was $25 was the offer on this one. And so all said and done, $100, and it made its way to Hawaii. I was able to refund him a little bit of his shipping, and Bob's your uncle. Happy customer, happy seller.
How much did you pay for the Neff shirt? Do you remember?
All of my shirts down here in Florida are $4.19.
There you go.
All right. This is just my little PSA of don't overlook sewing patterns and don't throw them away. This lovely 1930s three-piece suit with a cape. As you can see, the envelope is torched. But guess what? It doesn't matter because it is complete. And the pattern itself, the tissue felt almost like brand new tissue. So there was nothing really wrong with it. And so this one ended up selling for $50. And I picked this up, I want to say, I've had it a long time. It was a long tail item. I think I had it about 4 years.
Whoa.
But I bought it in a vintage suitcase full of 1930s patterns for $20 total. I sold the suitcase for $20. So everything else, all these patterns have been pure profit. And this one sold on my website for just shy of $50.
Elisa says $4.19, weird price. Elisa, it's Florida. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's Florida. Also, if you're in Florida, don't buy shoes. Hot pro tip. Don't do it. They're expensive. All right. And I branched out, and this is now my third item I've sold on Mercari. Yay!
Nice.
I did take a best offer. You can see $28 there. And actually what I was doing just prior to this show was rating my buyer so that I can be paid. So they got it. They're happy. Hooray. And this really awesome, fully organic cotton sheet that you get from Crate and Barrel, I picked up at the bins. There was nothing wrong with it.
That's always the best. B Hall says, do you make sure all the pieces are in the package? I'll answer that one. Yes, of course.
Yes. Yeah. On my description down below, the first word in every sentence after I type pattern is either complete or what it's missing. So.
All right. Now, usually we show big sales or bigger. $12 doesn't seem like that big of a sale. Plus, this was an accidental sale. We should have sold it. We only had 5 left. So that's a different story for a different day. However, I bought a whole big thing of Viewmasters, and I got down to the bottom of the box, and there was a bunch of empty sleeves, and I was looking at them, and the sleeves sell. So I'm getting $12 to $15 for like 20 empty sleeves. And so,
nice.
You buying that case, that luggage with all of them in there, and you sold the item, the box it came in. So yeah, you keep working that to the last penny. You make lots of money if you look at everything as a possibility for income.
Yep.
All right, look at that adorable skirt.
You sold a Bernie Dexter. I'm so proud.
Yay. It was tiny too. I'm like,
Yeah.
what freak can wear this tiny thing? Like, I was like,
there's a lot of people that are tiny.
And I said freak lovingly, by the way. I was like, and she already got it, gave me feedback, loves it to death. So I was very excited. I'm very good at picking out skirts at Buffalo Exchange. So
nice.
I am the skirt whisperer at Buffalo Exchange. All right. We have talked about guitar tab books quite a bit. Look at this one. It's pretty beat. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. I think it's taped together. It's got a giant curve to it. But someone still wanted it for $24. I think I paid $2. $2. And get rid of Lisa there for a second. Woo! Facebook Marketplace. Now, lean in. I bought this on eBay, and I did spend $150. I waited about 5 weeks, and it was up on Marketplace for less than 4 hours, $250.
Wow, that's awesome.
$100 profit, basically. And here's your bonus little tip. The person on eBay, although I paid them a lot of money, they misspelled the name of the mug.
Oh,
it is Scully with a Q. They spelled it with a K. It's one of the ones I searched for. And so he probably thought, sweet, some fool gave me 150. Haha, it's worth 250.
Nice.
So yeah, make sure if you like something that you always look up the misspellings too, if it can be misspelled. So I knew in this one, Cap'n, C-A-P'-N, Scully with a Q. Most people never, ever get it right.
Excellent.
Never. And that would be never. And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. Would you ever think a Billy Joel used cassette would go for $23?
No, I would not. Easy answer right there.
So Billy Joel was in a rock band before he was just Billy Joel called Attila.
Oh,
and I've actually never listened to them. I don't know if they were any good or suck, but someone, as you can see, I wrote what I paid for it on the case before I changed the case. So I paid a whopping $4 and I sold it for $23 on Amazon.
Amazing.
Yeah, usually it's not the milk toast middle of the road bands that give you the big money. Where did, oh, there it is. How about some Disney records? Woo! Again,
I'm still looking for that one.
Again, I know that what the price of things are. So I paid $30 at a record store. I'm sure they were happy to sell it for $30. I was much happier to sell it for $59.
Yep.
Easy list. I've sold it before. And so just wait for your right buyer. I got a lot of low balls, and that right buyer came by this week, and yay me.
I think that's one of the newer ones, isn't it?
Yep.
With the picture? Yeah.
Yep. Real new.
I like it though.
But they sell them out quick, and then people will be paying big money for to hunt for them. So I will happily spend $30 to double my money.
Absolutely.
And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. Okay, I thought I had yours first. So, and something just fell down in the other room. Can't wait to figure out what that was later.
Oh no.
Hey, you sold some CDs.
I was saying, can we all take a moment and acknowledge that I sold a CD? Now, as Jason will tell you, you probably shouldn't look for this CD. However, I will say I picked it up. I don't even really want to admit how long I've had that before I listed it. But I think I paid $1.99 for the 2-pack. One of them is completely sealed. The other one was not. It is a laser light, so I basically did everything you're not supposed to. But I had already bought it, and so I asked Jason, I said, so how much do you think I can get for this? And shockingly, I got full price. So $19.95 plus media mail, and they've already rated me, so they got it and they like it. So wee!
Yeah, we is right. Good job. All right, so I'm selling CDs all over the place. This one, let me make it a little bit smaller here. My problem with showing stuff on Marketplace is
all the
messages.
notifications.
Yeah. New Kids on the Block. This was housed in a locker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So special limited edition collector's item includes compact discs and the new release step by step with photo collage, 12-page lyric booklet, and logo sticker. And mine was still sealed. It was a promo, so it sold for $19. And I had it on eBay for quite a while. I'm like, let me try the Marketplace. I think it was only on there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, I see that got everyone excited. And KOTB forever. All right. How about a Bette Midler? I've never heard of this song. It was the follow-up to From a Distance. I'm like, Moonlight Dancing?
Nope. Never
But
heard of it.
guess what? Someone needed this promo single. I took a best offer of $55.
Wow.
It's got 4 mixes, including a club mix. What does a Bette Midler club mix?
What does that sound like?
Distance. So yeah, so back to my promos that I bought the huge collection of 2,000 of. They still pay off huge dividends. This cost me 75 cents, and I sold it for $50.
Nice.
All right, you saw this in my CD haul. The next 2 things from my CD haul 2-3 weeks ago. Bought this brand new in a record store in Phoenix. I have no effing clue who Robbie Basho is. But it looked interesting. I looked it up. They had a new, so stock they received, put it out, but it never sold. And I think it went out of print, obviously. So I paid them $62, listed it, and within a week it sold for $150.
Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah. And you would think, Stephanie, this would be my best CD of the week. But
I would actually.
But nay, and I tease it all over the place. I sold a Kid Rock CD that I paid $25 for. Are you ready? Are you all sitting down?
Ready.
How about $200?
Holy cow.
Yeah. That's why I teach you all. If you're not flipping media yet and looking, you are missing out. So look at this. $350 in the $400 in the last 3 CDs I just showed you.
Wow. That's amazing.
$100 in 3 CDs.
Oh my gosh.
So Kid Rock put out 2 independent releases between his first he was on BMG, they dropped him, he put out 2 independents, and then Warner Brothers picked him up. So this is one of the independents, and I know it. Actually, fun side story. I used to work for Kid Rock. So I know this record well. And when I saw it for 25 at Amoeba Records, I was like, yes, please. You got any more? Because I knew what it was worth.
Nice.
So please head over to JasonThrifts.com or FlippingCDs.com and take my courses. They don't cost a lot, and they will teach you things like this. If you found this CD, you'd already have $100 profit over the cost of my course.
Nice.
Come on now. I am investing money in the CDs because they pay me bigger money. Yay. Yeah, where was that, Brian? Yep, that is the Kid Rock, one of the ones I mentioned in the Flippin' CDs webinar. Absolutely. All right, and sadly, nothing from Stace this week. Sadly, so Stace, you got to get back out to the budget bin, Stace. And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
All right. This is what happens sometimes when you thrift with your child and they are young. They see a baby Kaz and they go, Mommy, I want to try and sell this. And by they want to try and sell this, they mean that they want you to try and sell it for them. Cue a year later, and I finally took a best offer of $9 for this thing because I just wanted him to stop staring at me. That's all I wanted.
Woohoo!
Oh, mercy.
But he left, so that's a good thing.
Yes, he did. However, I still have this. I picked this up Christmas of 2018. Not sure. I mean, I know why I grabbed it because I live in Florida, and normally anything floral, Hawaiian, if you take it to a vintage fair or if you just have it with you or in your store, like people just buy it because they're like, oh, Florida flowers. Yes, buy it. I still have this.
All right, real quick before I do my dud, Paul said, "Hey, what would that sell for on eBay?" There you go.
Oh.
110, and I saw another one sell for about 150. So it's a good CD no matter where you can sell it.
Nice.
But you only get 110 if you have your fingers in the picture. It detracts. Okay. I love showing $200 CDs, but when this sold the other day, I go, why the F did I even list a CD for $2.38? The fees on Amazon were more than I sold the CD for. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why would I even waste my time? So now I'm paying my assistant to ship a CD that we've lost money on.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
what? That was dumb. So
that's
look,
not how that's supposed to
I'm
work.
the man. I'm the expert, but I make mistakes too. What an absolute 100% waste of everyone's time.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, I thought this was cool. I love when things are co-branded. So here's a McDonald's Grammy shoulder bag. And I'm guessing it was some gift for some Grammy thing at some point.
Probably.
But I figured there's McDonald's collectors, there's Grammy collectors together. Apparently no one cares. No one cares. I've had it up. Well, look at the views. Almost 1,000 page views, and I've never had an offer.
Wow.
1,000 people stopped by and said, 1,000. Make an offer.
I don't know. Like, it's cool. I don't know.
If you like listening to music and Big Macs, make me an offer. Like $15, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it because I'm tired of looking at it. It's one of those.
There you go.
Right, you need to go to some home. I'm tired of you.
Right.
And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
All right. This one's real easy. It's Ashford in the UK. This lovely, it was 3 yards of this like super trippy 1960s fabric. And well, I think it's like that late 50s, early 60s because it was really nice and thin and just felt right. But it also went with a pattern. So I'm hoping that they're going to make it together, but I could be wrong. Maybe they'd have two different plans. But either way, happy it's gone. $45 plus pattern and shipping. So huzzah.
You had an easy one in terms of city and country, and so did I, because our friendly neighbors to the north in Calgary also love tiki mugs. Nice. So that's why we tell you to list everywhere, because you never know when someone in Calgary is like, you know what I need? I need a Trader Vic's Nautilus tiki mug.
There you go.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles on a sesame seed bun.
Onions?
Oh, I forgot onions. And onions. There you go. Yep, it's a Trader Vic's Nautilus mug. And it's one of the cooler tiki mugs because it's different than most of the rest.
Yeah, that's really nifty.
All right, now go make me an offer, Lisa. I sang kind of. if that's what you want to call it. I did a little singing. And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. Okay, I look forward to whatever this is. see, when I have guest co-hosts, they send Debbie, my producer, all this stuff, and then she makes the graphics. So it's always a surprise for the co-host.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so even your favorite shipping supplier can make a mistake. I use the no issue compostable bags. You have to order so many that they don't start to compost in your cabinet, but normally you can, I think it's like a 9-month window so long as you're inside a climate controlled area. And normally I only order enough to get through 9 months. So that's great. I ordered 500. I got 50. Oh, that's not the right way. Nope. And so I got online and I was like, what? What did I get sent? And they went into their system. They were like, and I had I swear it was like within the hour I had heard from them. It was a mistake on their end. And within 48 hours, they overnighted another full pack of 500. So just basically gave me 50 for free. And I just moved on. So I was like, well, I like that customer service. So just because a company makes a mistake, remember that there are computer glitches and humans. So just be gentle with them. Like if it's a constant thing, yeah, okay, maybe rethink your decision. But a one-time issue, don't scrap a good company just for one issue.
Yeah, I mean, I had it the other way. That Trader Vic's mug I sold in the last order from them, they sent me 2 extras of a mug.
Oh.
When it works that way, it's good. Okay, before I show my picture of my shipping tip, I bought these 4 print CDs that we're going to talk about in a minute. Now, when I got it, it was in a nice box. And so I opened the box and there was peanuts. And then in the peanuts was a big thing bubble wrapped. So I took my little X-Acto knife and I cut the tape and I unwrapped the bubble wrap. And then it was bubble wrapped again. So I cut another piece of tape and I unwrapped the bubble wrap. And then there was a third. I cut the piece of tape, I unwrapped the bubble wrap. And then when I got to the CDs, they were all wrapped individually.
Oh my God.
So although it got to me nice and safe and sound, my tip is don't overdo it. There was no need for 4 layers of bubble wrap and peanuts. That's just way no need. Plus, as a buyer, I'm like, I'm tired of unwrapping bubble wrap now. I don't need as much bubble wrap. I started to laugh. I was at my work table behind the couch, and Stacey goes, "What?" I go, "Look at these CDs."
Oh my gosh, that's like even above my level of overpacking, and that's saying something because I'm pretty bad.
Yeah, so that is overkill. So look, I'm all for packing things well, making sure it gets there. Duh. But don't overdo it. Don't overdo it because why waste your shipping supplies? No need to.
Yeah, true.
That was way too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
Plus the time it took to do all that, because it was nice too. It was like he was wrapping a present. It was very nice.
Oh my goodness. So much time.
Yeah, so much. Like I got other things I got to do in my day. I don't got time to wrap everything individually like that.
Oh my God.
And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outdoorsing.
Okay. We all know our thrift stores. We know the sections we go to. Do you ever take time to meet the people, get to know the people? Because if you don't, and you go to the same thrift stores over and over and over again, you're really missing out. Because you making that human connection with your thrift store worker is going to help them find you things that you want to buy. They want to sell you things. They don't want to hide things from you. They want you to buy things. So I was at a Goodwill, and this lovely worker came out with a brand new rack of clothes. And I kid you not, I zoomed in on one dress at first, and then I looked at the rest of that rack, and there was all this other stuff. I was like, ooh, I could do that. I throw it all in my cart, and I look at her and go, hey, you don't know me because I don't come around to this Goodwill much. But I introduced myself. I said what I did. I said, do you know if there's any other racks in the back that are coming out with similar clothing? And she stopped what she was doing. She went back to the back and checked for me because she knew what I was looking for and she wanted to help me. So don't see the workers as just workers. Get to know them on a personal level and they will work for you most times. You might occasionally find the bad egg that doesn't like the fact that you're a reseller, but most of the time you just tell them what you're doing and they don't care because they are not looking for top dollar shenanigans. They're looking, hey, get this out of my store for the price that I'm asking for.
I'm not from around these parts, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are saying in the chat, their Goodwills, no way. I'm like, it's just never understood that. But a friend of mine, when she was working at Savers, she introduced me to the girl in charge of media and we became, buds. And when she worked there, she was the table right when you'd walk into the back room. So I could see her and I come by, I go, anything? And they're not allowed to put out adult books, but if a customer they know and trust comes by. So I'm like, anything. And she'll reach under the table and pull out her stack. She's like, what do you want from these? And I'd pick out the good adult books and then she would just they would recycle the rest. But yeah, if you can make that connection, I'm like, heck yeah. All right. So you saw this. You saw my print CDs. I got them on Mercari. I paid $40 for all of them. This one will sell for $60. This one will sell for $35. So I'll make nice profit. Nice. But what I want to say is search Mercari every day. And the big tip is, so we talked about Viewmasters. Usually, of course, it didn't work this time. Usually it puts best match first. Well, that's fine, but you got to see what's newly listed. And there's a little glitch in Mercari where if you do it multiple times a day, it won't actually show you the newly listed until you go up to the bar and refresh.
Oh.
So it'll show you the newly listed from the last time you were there. Okay.
Huh.
So make sure to give it a quick refresh because you might see things that you hadn't seen yet. Because you might look up Tiki things all day long and like, there's no way nothing else has been listed yet today. Oh, let me refresh. Yeah. And then there it is. Absolutely. So look up things multiple times a day, switch to newest first, and make sure to refresh.
Cool.
There's your 3-part tip. And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling.
All right. Oh, agreed, Becky. Yes, absolutely. Get to know those vendors. All right. So this is only for like, this is what I do. And that's because I come from a place of like, patterns and fabrics. Sometimes people get a little touchy about reselling. A little touchy. They get a little too attached. So what I do, and this is a personal choice, but if you are in a slightly more delicate area, maybe just wait that 90 days if you're going to list on the exact same platform. Because I picked up an amazing bunch of feed sacks from one seller. Most of which I will say I do intend on using. However, there were some that I was like, you know, this is worth so much money that there is no way that I am going to cut into this. So I decided to just hold on to them until we clicked through the 90 days and my personal sale of that item from eBay was now gone and not able to be referenced. Because then they can't see that I bought this exact same feed sack for $5 that I'm selling them for $35.
It's kind of like mine. I just moved it to a different platform, the Tiki mug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I waited a little bit and then I moved to a different platform and ta-da.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now look, sometimes I do it right away. It just kind of depends on the mood in the moment and who's looking. All right. We do have mannequin feet, but they didn't fit in these shoes. And so these straps didn't look at the best when they were laying down. Yeah. So my teenager without instruction went and grabbed 2 skinny air pillows and puffed it up. So the potential buyer, and as you can see, they sold, could see how nice this is going to look on their foot. So there you go. Another use for air pillows.
For air pillows. That's great.
Yeah. Yep. Just, you know, sweet, short and sweet and to the point.
Yep.
And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season? All right, who just made me a $2 offer on my McDonald's bag? I'm not going that low. 15, I said. 15, $2. Is that you, Elisa? All right, this was up on multiple platforms at the same time before Christmas. It was on Amazon and eBay the whole time before Christmas, and it just sold the first week of May.
Nice.
Because, you know, in the first week of May, you need alternative rock Christmas.
Absolutely, you do. Gotta get ready for Christmas in July.
Yeah. I can't believe you have no out of season stuff.
I've been listing stuff that is out of season, but I haven't, nothing sold yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, little quick housekeeping, and then we will get right to our guests. Hey, who's this?
Heyo. So like I just make myself more difficult to find because I apparently find it entertaining. This is me. I'm on Instagram, Backroom Finds. We are in the middle of the Vintage Fashion Challenge for May. So what I'm doing is like taking all of my me-made things that I do for my YouTube channel, and I'm posting them going around that the blue dress obviously looks a little familiar. The green one and the red one. So that's like the beginning of May. But it's just sort of just kind of fun. You can get a little preview. And if you are a part of my YouTube channel, community shenanigans, you can follow me on Instagram. And I post stuff to my stories all the time with like polls and asking for input from the audience, like what y'all want to see next. And this is my YouTube channel. Yay! There is no new video this week because I am in the middle of a very large project that is going to take a lot of time. And I had an idea for this week, and there was no way that if I wanted next week to happen, that this week could happen. So we're no video this week. I might do a like short thing, but that's about it. So, but this is my YouTube channel. I am trying to get to 4,000 as soon as possible. And my goal, hopefully for the year, is to hit 10,000. It's a stretch. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to shoot for the stars and, or shoot for the moon, and when in doubt, I'll land among the stars. That's the quote.
There you go.
But yeah, just come hang out and it's a good time. And if you are a sewer and you like vintage patterns, vintage fabric, occasionally vintage clothing, you can go to my website. You can see here, I added that nice fancy little graphic there in the middle to make it a little snazzier. Just a little. I'm still working on it. But there are my newest additions there. I've got fabrics. I've got sewing books. You can see the full body apron, some cute little gloves. So I'm trying to branch out my website so it's not just sewing patterns. It's also vintage fashion related as well.
Awesome. All right, real quick, upcoming shows. Hey, this week is Mother's Day. Yay! So we're going to celebrate all mothers, and by proxy, my mom, Peggy, will fill in for all your mothers. And all mothers, both with us today and have passed on. So we're going to celebrate all moms, but we're going to kind of celebrate it for my mom's, where she started in this online selling journey to where she's at, because it is amazing. And my folks my mom's about to turn 78. My dad's already 78. They can do it. Anyone can do it. Not only are my folks on the older side, obviously, my mom's mode of transportation when she was a teenager was a horse. And we did not grow up in the 1800s, okay? So we're country people. We are country. My mom had to go to town. She rode her horse. Nice. Everyone else had cars by the 1950s. My mom had a horse. All right?
Save a horse, ride a cowboy?
Yes, pretty much something like that. So tune in Sunday night. That should have said 4 o'clock. It should say 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I screwed my own timing. Whoops.
Got it. 7 o'clock Eastern.
Okay, no show on Thursday again because Stacy and I just have to get the hell away from where we live. We're vaxxed. We want to go somewhere. So we're going away for 4 days, and we're hitting 4 tiki bars in 4 days.
Ooh, wow.
So if you can figure out where we're going for 4 tiki bars in 4 days, and I'm going to see one of you in the chat. Don't say nothing. We'll see if people can figure out where we're at. Okay? And
I have a guess, but I could be wrong.
We will return the following week. And those of you in the Secret Beach, Bruce Solco said, hey, can we do a show on Viewmasters? Because I bought a box and I made a shit ton of money. So I thought no better time to teach Viewmaster stuff than right after I made a shit ton of money. So we're going to talk about Viewmaster stuff May 22nd. It's a Saturday night, 7 p.m. And we will have our next cocktail party immediately following. So we'll go Viewmasters to cocktails.
Fantastic.
And that's it. Let's get our guests in here. Ta-da.
Sweet.
And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week. Oh.
Hey.
Hi again.
There we go. Hi, honey.
Awesome.
Stacy just popped in. I text her. I go, that beer went down too fast. I didn't even have a got here. So cheers. We're back with rum.
Nice.
Cheers.
Hi, honey. Thanks for the cocktail. How you guys doing?
We're doing really well.
Really
so much has
well.
happened in the last 6 years. I guess since last time we were on.
Last time we were on.
Sitting in our old basement.
And so little. Like,
So let's talk about 2015 first, and we'll just go from there.
Okay, right.
vintage.
All right. So you guys have been online sellers since when?
Oh, 2006 maybe. And I wrote in your questionnaire that I really got started selling in earnest, and list didn't come in until after that even I saw you speak in Philadelphia for eBay On Location. 1,000 years ago, I guess 2012. I had to look up when it was.
What is that, 9 years
Yeah.
ago?
So, and that's when I really started going to thrift stores and started trying to find things, discovered the bins, and which was really fun for a period of time.
And then I got annoyed with all the stuff in the house, and I was like, you need help listing this.
Right.
So that's when I got
So she got in, and
it's like, we can't live like this
things
anymore.
flowed a little bit better with our thrifted stuff.
Now, how many of us, Steph, have spouses that say, let me dive in instead of get this shit out of the house?
Right.
I got the second part, not the
I was
first.
like,
Yeah.
we're listing.
Yeah, we're all good at different things. Like she hasn't learned to do shipping yet, but I don't mind. I'll just sit and pack and an hour passes and you're shipping, and I don't mind it, but I think Liz finds it a little tedious to ship.
He trained me one day, and I was like, I'm out.
Maybe we'll tap it.
It's too much. I'll wrap something in tissue paper, and then I'm like,
here you go.
do something.
All right, make it disappear. Just
That's funny because normal stuff like CDs and records, which are the same every time, I'm like, okay, I could do it, no biggie. But when my assistant's working and we sell something really odd that we've never shipped before, instead of letting her try or do it together, I'm like, all right, let me add it. I just love grabbing that odd shaped thing and just constructing a box around it. I definitely get that from my father. I absolutely love that part of shipping because I'm like, okay, I've got all my utensils around me. Let's figure this out on the fly.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I sent my mom her Mother's Day gift and her birthday gift because her birthdays, of course, my mother's birthdays were after Mother's Day.
Of course.
Together. One was short and squatty and one was way too long. And I'm like, this is going to be a pain in my ass. But I like the challenge. Well, real quick, Alicia wants to know where you guys are.
Oh, we are in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Officially.
Oh, yeah.
We used to be just outside Allentown, but we moved to Allentown this past January.
Yeah, this past January.
And now Stephanie's going to sing us Allentown by Billy Joel. So everything's cyclical.
No, hard pass. Thank you.
Hard pass.
I do know where that is, though, but no.
But Dave, you're a full-time reseller, yeah?
Yes, full-time reseller.
And Liz, you're only part-time because why?
Super part-time. I'm a teacher.
Yay, for teachers.
Oh, yeah.
Yay. So,
Teacher
I'm
appreciation
teaching.
week.
Yeah, we've been in the classroom full-time since last August. So, our students are on, Allentown. So we have the students come in on a hybrid schedule, but I'm there, 5 days a week. So for me, selling is really like a summertime activity. And what I do is in the summer, I won't exactly say I work full-time because I definitely like to lay on the porch in my bathing suit and read some books, but
because you earned it.
Exactly. Drink more mineral water.
And then things sell all year and she's grabbing me things and
so I do my listing in the summer and then things kind of sell all year. So I always feel like, yay, it's like bonus money all year long where it's like the work I did in June is still paying me in, January.
Right. And it adds up by the end of the year. It adds up to, decent part-time job.
It's great. Yeah.
So,
and what do you teach, Liz?
I teach 12th grade English.
So back when I was in high school, our teachers in high school would teach different grades. And so my sophomore year English teacher became my senior year. Sophomore year, you were kind of told who you had for English, but senior year I could pick. And although she busted my hump in sophomore year, I realized by my senior year, she was the best teacher I ever had. So I made sure I took her again because she's the one that pushed me the hardest, but the best came out of me in terms of, she was very letting us be creative. And so we would do book reports in high school, but we had to do it as the character from the book. And so I'm sure that's where I kind of got my love of, I need a camera and a mic,
Right.
Because everyone else's was very boring. Mine was very elaborate and costumes and everything. So thank you. I look forward to someday when a student writes you like I'm going to write mine because I just found her on Facebook. Thank you very much for pushing me. I love that.
Awesome.
All right. So you guys are busy, teacher, full-time seller. You're like, let's run 3 Instagrams.
Oh yeah. So
many Instagrams.
I usually run. I think Willow's Instagram is usually me. That's
fun.
me. Blood on airbag. And
Dave loves it.
The story behind this is that the employees at my salvage yards, my junk yards, write blood on airbag on the window if there is biohazard in the car, and which if you see from my feed, it's kind of, we have the employee calls it action cars, and we have a lot of action cars in our junkyards that serious wrecks, but there's a lot of good parts on these cars still, especially depending where it's wrecked from, usually front of the back, sometimes just everywhere. But so there's a lot of opportunity. We have really good yards out here in eastern Pennsylvania. And you'll see on my feed here Honda Element stuff too. I grab things.
Steph, look at that tire.
Yeah.
That person
It's like noodles.
Where did it go?
I didn't even see some of these. Some of these are good.
Right. Yeah, Willow makes her appearance sometimes. And
so we're going to be talking about your car parts, but this is where you source them from. And so when you see crazy stuff like this, do not touch my effing car. Clearly, it can't move. That's what this one is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
It can get a little aggressive there.
Yeah. And so you just have to stay out of everyone's way, both.
All right, real quick. Someone's watching right now, and they made an offer on a legit offer, Elisa. They made an offer on the McDonald's bag, but look where it's going. Calgary, which is
excellent.
My Tiki
Oh my gosh.
what are the chances of that? I mean, that's just crazy to me. So, accept. Thank you.
All right, excellent. Good work.
Nice.
Thank you, Calgary. All right, so Liz's is a little different.
Yes.
Cardamom rose. And,
not so much garbage and junk. All the vintage. And yes, one way I maintain this one, I suppose, is by not maintaining it all that often. But yeah, in the summertime, when I do a batch of either scarves or vintage stuff, I take the pictures of them, and I kind of do it along with my listing. I usually get everything listed, and then I usually pick some of my favorites and do a little feature. And it's kind of fun. So I love these cashmere scarves. For a while, they were kind of dead on Etsy, but during the pandemic, all the rest of my cashmere scarves that I had kind of made and had sort of hoarded up waiting to list, I listed them during the pandemic, and almost all of them sold, a number of them internationally, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, and a lot of this cashmere I got from the bins, and because sometimes there would be small holes and you couldn't actually sell it as a whole piece, but we would cut them up and then piece them together into these scarves.
Yeah, I love them. They're soft and comfortable. I love, I always wear cashmere now. I'm obsessed with it. It's I'm like, why would you wear anything else?
It's a tricky fabric because once you start, you can't really stop. It's so soft.
Exactly. The photos. Thank you, Aaron. Those are Davis, the photographer for those, which is nice. So,
so that's not all. You have a third member of your family, and that third member has their own Instagram.
Yes, this is our little rescue dog. She's very sweet, and
she's got a lot of personality.
Yeah,
that lavender field though.
This picture right here. You should send it to Puppia and say, you need to make this one of your advertisements.
Right, exactly. Yes.
I mean, that's amazing. It's so
we need some sponsorship here. Puppia.
Puppia, yes. So that's Willow's little girly harness. It's her little polka dot when she's feeling feisty and feminine.
Looking at birds and
cute.
Yeah, there's a lot of her pictures come from daycare. She has a good daycare up.
Her ears. Hold on. That reminds me of Salacious Crumb.
Oh, that's great. Yes, for sure.
Look, there's no Salacious Crumb. If you know who Salacious Crumb is. Hello, Star Wars nerds. It's May the 4th week.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So cute. But we're here to talk about a couple things. But let's talk about what you're doing here. So you were not doing this when you were on 203 years ago, right?
No, I wasn't. I got a little bit into it. We made a pact to drive our old cars as we were paying down our mortgage on our townhouse. And so I found myself in the junkyard more and more because our cars are old, and usually the older cars are found here. And so you bring your tools, you go around and find parts. And then sooner or later, I started to take more parts and look into what things were selling for on eBay. And, you look at completeds. And I started with Hondas because we drive Hondas. They last a really long time.
Yeah.
And so I would start pulling parts from Honda. And it really, I think things shifted for me. And Jason, you're a part of this story too, because I was at an eBay open. I just started selling parts. I had a lot of thrifted stuff. I had my Hawaiian shirt on, hopped into an Uber to go to Frankie's to come see you at Frankie's. And
it was an Uber share.
There was an Uber share. This guy piles in behind me. He's going to go to casino, and on the other part of town. And we got talking. We're both at the eBay conference. What are you doing? We're at eBay. What do you sell? Which is when you meet someone who sells on eBay, it's always like, what do you sell? And he said car parts, and I said, oh wow, we've got to talk. Do you want to come to do you know this guy, Jason? He's like, yeah, I see him on YouTube. All right, you got to come with me to the bar. We got to talk.
So instead of going to the casino, he came with you.
Yeah. And
I did not know this.
Yeah, it's funny.
This is Chris Pochecki. He's become my mentor now. I've learned so much from him. I think it's really good to have a little either a mastermind group or a mentor. And he's been really the one person that's helped me on the path in car parts, just to try to figure out how to get things to sell. Because there's so much. There's thousands of items, that you can get, from the junkyard. And it's like, where do you start even? And so I'm very thankful for Chris that he's helped. I talk to him every week. We talk about our goals for the week and nice. And
they like swap car part stories
and tips.
I'll trade you this Honda antenna for that Plymouth steering wheel cover.
Right, exactly.
That's how I feel like it's boring, but his eyes light up and he gets super into it. I'm like,
I feel like it's my spirit cave. Fight Club. He goes into his cave. There's the penguin. But that's me in the junkyard.
It's not the hubcap guy. Yeah,
no, it's not Joe DeMarco. That's Joe DeMarco, Rick.
Oh, Joe DeMarco. Yes, we know Joe DeMarco is.
Joe goes and just gets hubcaps. That's it.
And
he stops at one product, one product only.
He's very specialized.
Can you imagine doing this in Florida in the summertime?
Nope. Hard pass. Already, it's like too stupidly hot. No.
Now that makes me think though, because you live where it snows. How tricky is this in the wintertime?
Oh, yeah.
It is pretty hard. Now, the good thing, if there's some sun out, the snow kind of melts down on the cars, but sometimes you're trudging through, and we were blocked out a little bit this year.
Because we got
so much
3 feet of snow.
Yeah, and so that's why it's good to build, a profit pile, but in a good way where you kind of have this backstop, and then you can work on it when the weather is not good. You get a whole week of rain or snow. Yes, Stephanie.
Now, real question that really won't have much else to do again, probably. God, I hope. Gonna knock on something for that. When the pandemic really hit its full lockdown, did y'all notice a massive uptick as people fixed up the things they've been meaning to fix up?
Yeah, but it was the best year ever for me for car parts last year, and from my friends, yes, we can report that last year, and it continues into this year too. Maybe it's left over people working on their own cars. I think a lot of people were home too, so they had the chance to work on their own cars.
All those projects that you put on the to-do list probably finally got off the to-do list.
Right, sure, yeah.
And I wonder if there's a part of me sewing it comes and goes. So sometimes people are really into it and sometimes it goes away. But what I found for my end is that it definitely encouraged people to get back into it. So I'm sort of hoping that for yours and mine and basically all the businesses that involve hands-on things, that maybe because during the pandemic they were like, oh, this isn't that hard. Maybe I can keep doing this. So hopefully that is what will continue to push you. Because Jason lists CDs and we all listen to music. We know that music is forever. It is a universal language, as he always says. But it's kind of nice to see our little niches be oh, people remember how to do things again. Yay!
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of that with cooking and a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
I like Ken's idea, junkyard core. That is not a thing yet. I think Ken just birthed it right now. Yay, Ken. Here's the question I would have never thought of in a million years. Do you run into snakes in the junkyards? I hate them.
I haven't. I think it is possible. But
have you seen any?
And I've never seen snakes. Now they do. Yeah, they are. I mean, the yards are fenced in, so there is an element of some wildlife can't exactly get on, but you do see paw prints sometimes, of critters going around the cars and,
All right. So here's my big question. How long as you're going in there just to get stuff for you before you thought, there's a lot of other cars in here. I should probably do something.
Right.
How many trips to the junkyard did it take you to have that thing click in your head?
Yeah, it took a little while though, because it's so, you really have no idea what to even start getting to sell.
Because it was the same for us, even with thrift stores. That we were going to the thrift stores for years. I mean, I loved even in like the mid '90s. I was super into thrift stores.
I think I got a couple of ideas from the thrifting board. I think there were at the time there was a couple of guys that would talk about. They're
like, hey, try these parts.
Try these parts. Like, okay, and then they start. Nice. Then you start selling them, and then you go a little deeper, and but it's been good. It's interesting to see how the path weaves, and the story unfold for yourself if you just let it just follow the next thing and see where that goes. But we still love, you'll see it in our thrifting scores, that we still love our vintage items.
So your destiny awaited in an Uber share on your way to Frankie's Tiki Room.
Okay. See, the good things that happened on the way to Frankie's Tiki Room. See?
His whole life changed.
Right. Debbie's not with us tonight because she's at church doing something. And so when she goes to listen to the show later, she's like, wait a minute, there was a whole Frankie story?
Yep. Debbie missed it. She missed it.
Yeah.
How dirty are you when you come home from the junkyard?
Oh, pretty dirty. Yeah, it's it's
so
not
manly.
Definitely not easy. Yeah, it's not an easy.
I'm not manly. I don't go to the junkyard.
I think you'd be all right. It'll be fun to bring Jason.
Well, it was a few years ago. This is before he started selling car parts. A few years ago, Dave said to me, he's like, I really want to be more manly. And I was like, okay. Like 15, 20 years into our marriage, I can get behind that. I'm like, all right, why don't you do more manly things? I can be more girly sometimes. And so then he discovered car parts, and I think it like clicked where he feels like he loves to come back from the junkyard and like show me. He's like, look, I cut my finger.
Yeah,
I'm so manly. Like, look at these bruises. Look at this dirt, and like he won't wash it off right away either.
And then
I'm okay with it.
That's where we differ, because I'm like, what sparkle can go in my toes? I would oddly rather be more girly. I'm way more content. I'm good in my masculinity, and I'd rather be girly.
Yeah.
And so April has a question here. Where do you keep all of your inventory? I have these in
his trunk.
Shelving. We actually had to buy a bigger house before we decided before we're getting commercial space that we'd start with a slightly larger house. So we have a much larger garage now, and a larger basement. Oh yeah. There's the house and all cars.
Yeah.
And
so there's an unfinished basement. Yeah. Well, partial finished basement that has just those big Home Depot shelves with.
Yeah. And I did this from the beginning, where I source a lot of my parts on the smaller side. So everything's smaller. So there's smaller shipping boxes. The items are smaller, so I have them all numbered and stacked up in bins, so I can. And so in the new setup that I have, I wish I had a picture of that, but it's still being organized because we're only in a couple months. But I have all my boxes right there, a shipping computer, the thermal label printer, all of the parts stacked up and numbered, so I can grab everything very quickly, and shipping just flows much easier now.
Nice.
So now we got your house up. Why don't you talk a little bit about your last house and this house? Because of some people who do what we do, online selling, all of us here, obviously, and everyone in the chat, we do it all to different degrees of how much we sell, how much we list. And then we all have different reasons for it. Some of us make a living at it. Some of us have fun money, kind of like my mom and dad. So talk about how you took care of the last house and then this house.
Right. So I guess that was part of the story. So we made a pact to drive our old cars as we were paying down the mortgage on our townhouse.
It was our goal to pay off our mortgage, and it was our goal for a long time. And it seemed like it was very slow going until, Dave really got his eBay business going, first with the thrifted stuff. That was good. And then adding in the car parts.
Yeah. And we
used
really
his income
to completely pay off the townhouse.
To completely 100% pay off.
So going into the first lockdown of the pandemic, we were completely debt free.
We paid it off almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we grew the business so much that we're like, all right, now we need a bigger house. So now we have another small mortgage.
Yeah. We still have the same plan.
As you can see in the photo, we still drive our ancient cars. And we're like, let's keep them until we pay off the next one.
Oh, right. I have these weird, The one is, I swear it's on its way out, but I'm still going to drive it. There's no check engine light.
Right. He's like, I'm just going to.
And if there was, I'll just put a piece of tape over it.
Yeah.
Are you the Honda Element?
Yeah.
That's me. I drive the Element.
Oh, okay.
And
because I'm like, I'm a Scion XB, and I'm sort of like in that same like,
all right, the boxy
just a
kind
little
of,
longer, just a little longer.
A
Yeah.
little longer.
Yeah, we sold a lot of Scion XB parts this week.
I am positive of that.
Keep them going.
Because I might need a few for my 2006.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Get your hookup now. If you're excited by the double garage, I won't even tell you that the house I live in has a triple.
Wow.
And the office I'm in has a double. So we got 5.
3 days.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. That is something.
So with the basement and such, what's your square footage there?
Well, I don't know with the basement.
With the basement.
It's 2,000 without the basement.
Right.
Okay.
But there's probably some extras, you know.
And is there room for a tiki bar in the basement? That's the important
Oh,
question.
right. You know.
And you son of a bitches have basements. That's one thing I missed when we lived out here. In 1961, builders as a collective in this city said, what the hell we digging in Rockford? No more basements. And that was it.
Right. We're done.
That was the end of basements in Las Vegas, unless you're uber rich.
Right.
I mean, you could move to Florida if you would like a basement that randomly fills with water.
Right.
Because there are very few basements in Florida, but you don't want them because they basically turn into lakes in the wet season.
Craig fainted for
that.
All right, Dana's got a great question because you're pulling out car parts from wrecked cars.
Yes,
do they take returns?
Yeah, you'll see that in my duds. I do have some testing equipment here, and I try to get parts that are simple enough that I can usually test them. You can't really test light bulbs that easily, but yes, we do take returns. Usually people, I just disclose light bulbs haven't been tested, but people need, if you're buying a taillight and you're sending light bulbs in it, usually the taillight itself is broken and they'll put in bulbs or they, and I think, so.
Right. No, they are not in the double garage. They're getting new garage doors, actually. These garage doors aren't great, and they're supposed to come next week with the new garage doors, and then we will actually park in there.
Yes.
There is actually room to park in there.
Yeah, there is. I had one car in there today.
I was about to say, we have 5 spaces and we only have 1 car in a garage.
Right. Yes.
I was say I got a 2-car garage and exactly 0 cars.
Yes. We need new garage doors. The one works. The other one doesn't really work with it doesn't have a remote. It's kind of weird. So we're getting new ones.
So in there right now is just like there are some shelving.
Right, shelves along the wall, and then there's space.
Okay.
And then there's like a workstation in the back where he can test his parts and things like that.
Good workstation. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. What do you have that sells best online? Woo.
Oh, we all of us that do parts, and Hubcap Joe. And we all have kind of our different niches that develop over time. I picked a couple tonight to show you, but it really is, you have to work with what clicks with you. So you can sell anything from headlights, taillights, just anything that can break on a car, like dashboard parts, because like all of that plastic, anything that's plastic can get brittle and break, like side mirrors, because you're backing out of your 2-car garage and you break a mirror.
Even sometimes rear view mirrors.
Rear view mirrors,
side mirrors.
Yeah, there's just the best thing would be is to pick your favorite manufacturer and start doing some research on eBay as to what the Bolos are. I've even gone into TerraPeak through eBay to find some things that you can find some things that sell in quantity, sell over and over again.
Oh, nice.
On TerraPeak. TerraPeak's pretty good for showing you that.
So what's the biggest piece you've brought in home? Like one piece?
Oh, one piece that would maybe have to do with like the moonroof, like the big, like imagine shooting that. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I've only gotten one and shipped one, but I know.
And he's like, how am I doing those?
And you have to ship it, right?
That's what they specialize in, because you can buy them for not expensive, and if you have the right size box, and it's really not because it's a thin box, so it's really not too expensive to ship FedEx.
Okay.
Ultimately, and the glass is tempered, so it's they're beefy,
right.
But that
you usually bring the small.
Yeah, I like the small things that I can store easily. And, shipped.
Oh, it makes sense. I just wondered.
Yeah.
You know, is that one day you're like, your balls, you're like, I can take this whole dash off.
Right.
That's
the
minivan.
Like I know a guy who just all he does is
they like bring a team in and they take the whole engine out of the car. And
there's guys like I watched this guy in an hour. I was going into the junkyard and then I was back by the entrance an hour later. The guy had the entire engine out of the car and on a cart and he was checking out. And
so, is it by the pound?
No, but it is, when it's an engine, it's by the piece. So,
okay.
Yeah. So they'll go through and all the things attached to it are, they'll charge you for
that's
that.
That's an alternator. That's a belt.
That's
a good question. Do they have a standard price? The belts, the alternators?
Yeah. All the different yards have their own price sheet. And that is one thing to consider is, you have to really look at that price sheet as you're doing your eBay research and make sure that you can get a good enough price on it for what it's selling for on eBay.
Because every yard has different prices. And so for some yard, he has like one favorite part, but then if he goes to a different yard, like didn't you go to one in like Nashville or something? And like the prices of the things you usually get were like 5 times the amount that you usually pay. And it's like, I can't buy those things. So he had to like find other things.
Yeah. And there are, for motorcycles, it depends on the yard. There's one out in the country that gets lawnmowers and motorcycles and
lawnmowers. Those even
right. I have a picture of it. I have to post it on Instagram. This guy was rolling half a motorcycle through the yard. I was like, what's he going to do with it? And it was like a mini bike, This is just this wheel and it was all partially disassembled and so
how many catalytic converters have you stole out of parking lots out of people?
Apparently that's a big Honda Element problem that people have.
They steal them from Elements.
The thing with catalytic converters is that the junkyards won't
they don't
federal law they can't sell them.
Really?
So, but there is a network of recyclers that whether they're legit or not legit. I don't exactly understand how that part of the industry, but there's a lot of precious metal in there.
How much money are in used airbags with the blood on them? How much money?
This is a partially exploded
bonus
airbag.
For blood.
Right.
So are you skilled enough? So if an airbag didn't deploy, are you skilled enough to get that out of there?
Right. You could.
Are you skilled enough
to get in? Yeah. Usually airbags are. In the steering wheel, there's usually, and it depends on the manufacturer, but there's usually these hidden screws that you have to get, or like plastic clips that you have to release that are kind of hidden out of the way, and.
But you don't tend to do a lot of airbags.
No, I don't. I tend not to because they they explode, and you never know when there's going to be a recall on ones. Sometime down the road. Which is the concern for airbags, but there's plenty of people that sell, airbags.
Steph, how many sewing patterns have exploded in your face?
I had one disintegrate, but I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, I've never had any CDs explode, so we all have our own dangers.
We watch those YouTube videos of the guys that set them off in their backyard, and one guy's sitting on it. And just
nope. Sounds like an ER run waiting to happen.
So is there cleaning that needed when you're doing
you can pick and choose. I like clean, pretty items that
cleans things.
I do clean things. Yeah. And I haven't seen a carburetor in a long time, but but yes, you definitely want to clean parts and make sure that they're presentable.
Crash fill.
Hi, have you
highways down there. Yeah.
Let's show a few more pictures because I had this one.
Oh, here we go. Yes, I needed to send you the dog pictures.
So much cuter than a car part.
Yeah.
Right there.
This is just such a great photo.
Yes, with the one floppy ear and all the love.
Yeah.
All right, what's happening? I love this photo.
Yeah, that was the
right
moment.
After we paid off that's after we paid off the mortgage.
So I had the champagne and we were throwing a party.
Yes.
That whole Lino is like such a baller move. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
I got this bottle. We got the deed. We're good.
We're good here.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't announce to Facebook what was actually going on with this picture when I posted it. It just hope you're all having a great summer.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of beaches in Allentown?
Yeah. Right. That was
the one trip we took during the pandemic. Was we went and stayed in a tiny little Airbnb on Cape Cod, and we brought the Beast.
Yes.
And
she
I think
proceeded
she
to have
rather
the
enjoyed
best.
it.
It was just the best.
I
mean,
cannot. How
Steph,
cute.
this picture of the sands coming up. It's such a great,
Yeah.
such a great shot.
With her tongue out, having the best day.
She was like, I didn't even know a beach existed.
So happy.
Yes, we were yelling Dave Ramsey, no
No
more
more
debt.
debt.
Yes,
Okay.
we're debt free.
And here's
Yes.
Liz during lockdown with bags of shoes.
Shoes. I love shoes. I love to sell shoes on
Right.
eBay.
What I say, car parts and shoes. That's it, or like women's shoes.
Right.
That's all I need to sell.
Yeah, there they are.
They're
Car
lined
parts
up.
and shoes. There they are.
Yeah.
Headrests and shoes.
Yeah.
And
Headrests
what's
and
that
shoes.
part?
Right. That's like a fan.
You want to do some shopping,
Fan.
Steph? Do you see your style and size, Stephanie?
I'm gonna say size 12 women's. You got any?
Yeah. Well, I actually I do sometimes carry 12s. I wear 11, so
Yeah, I wore 11 until I had a child.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've heard that happens, and I chose not to procreate partially for that reason, partially for
Good choice.
and other reasons too.
2 thumbs up. Would recommend. Unless you
Oh, geez.
I love everyone's like, oh, well, after the pandemic, people are going to have so many kids. I'm like, all the parents that currently have children will not be having any more children. I can almost guarantee that.
Right. It's a lot of togetherness.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
here's the biggest question, because Stephanie does it, I do it, and you guys do it. We have a specialty, and then alongside our specialty, we have other stuff. And I know I've seen this question posed in the last 20 years on Facebook 1,000 times. Should I have one store for my specialty and a different eBay store for my other stuff? Do I want to commingle my Honda antennas with my ladies' mules?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we ended up
had
doing
that conversation
Yeah, we do.
so many
Yes,
times,
we
and
have.
he's like, "Keep it all
Just
together."
keep
I'm
it
like,
all-
"Really?" But he's not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So for car parts, people come in, like if it were me, I'm on my phone. So I'm looking for a car part, or I'm on, at my desk, looking for a part. You have a part number. You go directly into the listing. Now, when we run promotions, there's other items from that category pulled on the bottom, of our own promoted listings. I think that might not be right, but we tend. I think if you come in directly for the item, and someone coming in for a car part's not looking at Dansco's that we have, and vice versa, they're not seeing it. And we have a pretty generic user ID and company name. I think at some point, if you get really specialized and niched,
I feel like if I were to do shows, like with my cashmere or whatever, which I've never done. I've never made enough to feel like I could really fill a table at a show, because it is just my summer job. But if I were to do something like that, I think I would want my own site and my own mailing list to direct people. But I feel like when we're listing on eBay, we're kind of almost like not necessarily trying to generate our own audience and our own storefront and our own brand. It's almost like we're borrowing everybody else's brand. Like I'm borrowing Dansco by selling Dansco. He's borrowing Honda by selling Honda. And I feel like people find us because they're looking for those brands. Like when I go on eBay, I'm like, oh, I'm looking for, Dansco clog size. I don't remember what size I wear, 42, 43, whatever it is. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily being like, does this seller have the Danscos I'm looking for in their shop? I'm more like, does eBay have the Danscos I'm looking for?
Right.
Any seller, they have good feedback, a good price, done.
Yeah, I think it's much more important to get to your income level that you're happy with, like rather than trying to figure out, should I have 5 different stores, or just you've got to focus on your income generation and maybe have it in one store. And if you find that your business weaves into something different eventually, maybe consider, something different, maybe, because then you start to brand at that point. Now we sell. Okay, so here's a question: do we sell on? I'd like to get into Facebook Marketplace,
but we just sold our furniture instead of moving it.
Yeah, we did. We sold a lot of our furniture. Yeah,
we want to move the crap. We'll just sell it.
Anyway, so
it doesn't fit the space of the new home.
That's how you move on the cheap. You just sell everything and start all over.
Yeah, and we have Etsy. Liz has an Etsy store.
Right, I do have my own Etsy store for the vintage and like the homemade. Yeah, the handmade scarves that I make.
Yeah.
So that is sort of niche, but not exactly, because I had toyed with the idea on Etsy. I'm like, well, do I have two different ones? One for handmade, one for vintage? And I'm like, nah, just handmade and vintage. Put it all together.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good when you have everything.
And I started a Poshmark last summer, but that was just because, again, I was like, I don't want to move my clothes. Like, let me sell some. So all I did was sell some of my own stuff. But this summer, I think I am going to build the Poshmark a little bit more towards the business. But I don't know if has anything to do. Yeah, my store has been ransacked. There's almost nothing left.
It's not a bad way to do it, but
so it's ready for my summer attentions for sure.
Nice.
I have a big bin of stuff that I did choose to move with us of stuff that I'm going to list this summer, and then I have some plans in terms of buying up some more shoes. You know, I have my little circuit of thrift shops that I like to go to see what I can find. And I have stacks of cashmere that needs to be cut up. I have some new scarf designs in mind, new shapes and things like that I want to go for.
It's a great testament, Steph, to a couple who figured it out. You know, it's amazing. You both found your avenues. And even with having a full-time career, you work it out, and that's how you're able to pay off your house. That's how you'll be able to pay off your next house. Yeah. And so I hope everyone is inspired by this, and maybe turn to your left and say to your spouse, "Hey, Liz teaches full-time and she does it. Help me out."
Right?
Because if you help me out, we can pay off our house or have a better vacation or have a better car or our kid go to a better college, whatever. But every dollar that comes in helps to something fun or important stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that Dave hit on that I think is really correct. A lot of us put a serious amount of weight on how much feedback does the seller have, because that feedback is the implicit trust between the buyer and the seller. Now, it's not to say that if you're just brand new and starting out, you can't build that trust. But if, like what you guys had, you had like 3,700 positive reviews. That tells buyers, oh, hey, this person's been around the block. They know how to ship things. They're quick. They're timely. They're a trusted seller that I can trust with my money to not, because, you know, some people still are a little dicey about eBay. They're like, oh, eBay sellers. Like, so I think that combining those, especially on eBay, that it's such like a niche thing. Like you start off, like for me, like size 12 tennis shoes, women's, and then you just like kind of bounce around between sellers and styles. So you're really looking for what's the trust level that I can look at. So I think that's really, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see their duds and scores, and we'll call it a day, and we'll have them back way sooner than 6 years.
We all
are going to come out of this pandemic with different thoughts and ideas what you want to do. And Stacey and I want to get back to our traveling. And pre-pandemic, Stacey's like, okay, we go to our favorite places all the time. We need to go to other places, and we had planned to. And then you get stuck at home for a year and a half, and you're like, where do you want to go? I want to go to New York City. We want to go back to our normal. So I can't wait to see you guys.
Right. We're looking forward to
feel good where you don't have to think. You want to go back to the places you love the most because you can just walk in and go.
We're looking forward to when that happens. And,
very much. Yeah, absolutely.
So we will have a definite meetup at the 169 bar for anyone in the tri-state area. When we're in town, we'll pick a day because the 169 is a special bar that needs to be enjoyed.
Right. Sweet. Excellent. So I think we have.
Right, so let's talk about duds. And there's got to be a story since 2 sold at $100.
Oh my gosh. So my plan was actually to wear that tonight, but I kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah, with free shipping and free returns, I'm kind of on a 2-strike rule, with items. And
it's such a great sweater.
And it was returned twice.
And it was returned twice.
Oh.
There was nothing wrong with it. Everybody's just like, I don't like the way it fits. And then I got it back the second time. I was like, well, I like the way it fits. So now it's mine.
So that's what we're doing with this dud.
Was the bitch implied?
Seriously. So I like it. So now it's mine. So the dud is actually a win for me.
Yes.
There you go. It's a win for your closet.
Win for my closet. Yeah.
All right. And this is 2 boxes of my duds because I test my items, or I try to test my items if they're testable. And so what I do with them, I usually find my duds before I put them up for sale on eBay. So I keep all the plastic parts around. So if the little electronics aren't working correctly, it's attached to something else that I can use. So I kind of hold on to it and then use the plastic pieces. If I need something that's cosmetically damaged, I can move the plastic around. And
Nice.
So he pirates his own duds.
Yeah, that's one thing I do with my own. Duds.
That's amazing.
Yeah, funny you should say that, because I was going to do it on a tip coming up, but I'll share it here. This Prince CD has the barcode on it, which is very rare. But look, see that crack right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, it is on the Warner Brothers CD case.
Oh.
I told Kelly, I go, we need another Warner Brothers back. So we're going to take a hairdryer, get this bad boy off, and glue it on a different Warner Brothers back. No one will know.
Exactly.
Good way to do it.
So I'm taking my own duds and reworking them a little bit to make them even better. All right, enough of the duds. Let's talk. Look at that sexy piece.
Oh yes, this is I thought of you when I sold these. I got a couple of these from the junkyard last week. One sold already, and I have another one to sell. A Bose stereo amplifier. A lot of these go for much more. Way over $100. And but right, exactly. There's guys in the yard that all they do is sound equipment. So there's an idea for you. So they're the ones that actually grab these first because they know right how to get them out. Sometimes they're wedged under the dashboard. But hey, if your sound goes down when you're driving around in your truck, Jason, you're probably getting that fixed or looked at, or you try to, depending on how old your car is, you might be looking at it yourself. And so this is just So
what does that kind of piece run at the junkyard?
Oh, I paid $15 for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And that's for all amplifiers.
Yeah, for all amplifiers.
Are 15 at our junkyard.
So at the high, at the high end, that works really well when you can sell it for much more.
Yeah.
And just like CDs. So I know this is $35. And so once I find that Bose amplifier, just keep getting them. And then just keep selling.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
In your brain,
okay,
that's a quick $70.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what it says, 3 sold there, right?
Yeah. Right. So I've sold 3. And that's an item that you can't test, so obviously you'd have to take it back. You'd have to take their word for it.
Like car parts bring all the boys. Well done. Well done. All right. This doesn't look like a car part.
Oh, yeah. That was one
it's the same price. Look at that.
Right.
That was one of my scarves. And this one went to Germany, which is fun. I had to put the little review there on Google Translate to find out what it actually meant.
Nice.
Der Loop is Spitze.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it.
So
I like pretending like I know how to say it. So yes, I thought that was awesome. And they did pay for shipping. I usually offer free shipping when it's in the United States, but they paid for shipping and customs because it went to Germany. And she was very happy with it. So I was really happy with it. I had made it a while ago, and I meant to make it so it was pink on the inside and brown on the outside, but and reversible, but I sewed it wrong. And when I sewed it wrong, I pulled it out from the inside out. I was like, oops. Oh, I kind of like it. And it took a little while to sell. I was like, somebody's going to like it. It came out from what I planned, but I was like, it's still cool. I liked the color combination. And apparently so did the woman in Germany. So I was really happy about that.
That's awesome.
You and Stephanie, because I watch Stephanie's videos, you guys can nerd out about, I sold that wrong.
Yeah,
and then I did that.
Oh, yeah.
It happens, it's like, I think I'm doing it right. And you turn it inside out and you're like,
no, something is wrong here.
Something very wrong.
And cashmere is just the best.
Yep.
Oh, this is neat. I wanted to share this with this one with you because of the feedback that I got on it. So I sold it for this price, $62.99. The feedback I got was, looks new and works great. $214 cheaper than the dealer. What a bargain. Thank you.
Oh.
And so I had to check his math there on the parts website that I use for part numbers. And I pulled, it was $180 on the, to get it online. So I feel that we all won here. I paid $4 for this too.
Oh,
and we had an icy winter in the north. This is a product that I like to get, is these rubber antennas. And it was, as that ice packs down on the top of your car, your antenna might have a problem.
Or is it run through the car wash?
Yeah, right. And car washes create a lot of problems for the roof antennas. And so that's one of the products that I like to sell. And yeah, it works out good. Couple sold.
I love it. Yeah. Easy peasy.
really cool.
Yeah, really easy. I think it's easy. I don't have to do it. Oh my gosh, I loved these boots. And Dave actually found them at this we have like this sale. It's like a yard sale thing that happens at a roller rink in the off season.
Yeah.
And he found them for $30. And the color there is what's called banana. So these are Fry boots, but these are Fry boots from the 1960s. They're like Fry Black Label boots. And it's such a rare shape too, kind of, it's a square toe, almost like a harness boot, but it's more of it was so unique. And I loved these boots. I kept them on my shelf for the longest time because they were this close to fitting me. And so I just kept them because they were beautiful. And finally, after having them on my shelf, I think I had them on my shelf for 2 years, and I would try them on every 3 months, being like, maybe they fit now. But no, my feet did not shrink. These did not expand. I never wore them. So, I moisturized them and decided, all right, it's time. I'm going to sell them and let them go to somebody who will love them as much as I do. So those are beautiful, and they fit her perfectly, which made me happy because they did not fit me.
Yeah,
which was tragic.
One tip for Fry's too is that Fry company has a conditioning cream that works pretty well on the smooth leather.
Oh, it's so great, yeah.
And so we make sure to get that and use that as in our cowboy boot arsenal of leather conditioning.
Yeah, yeah.
And Fry in particular you just have to check the size on it. It's usually about a half a size off.
Mm-hmm.
But all the boots tend to run like that. So. Yeah, you just have to.
All right, so Lisa will have our last question because it's very important. Do you have to wear skates when you sell at the roller rink?
So yeah, it's on the off season, so it's it
they just fill
concrete
it with
or what have you for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that would be dangerous and hilarious to sit and watch a sale with everyone wearing roller skates.
Yeah,
that would be me.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd just be clinging onto the wall. All right, next vendor.
All right. So what's when are you out of school, Liz? When's the last day?
So officially, I think it's June 11th. I teach seniors, so they finish just a little bit early. The graduation is on June 8th, and I think the last day I have them in class is maybe June 4th. So it's coming soon, really soon, which feels really good. Yeah. So I can't wait.
Yay for the summer.
I have to buy some furniture though. I got rid of all my office furniture. I've got nothing.
You're ready.
So I have to get a desk and a table. I don't even have ironing board anymore. I was this is gross. It doesn't spark joy, so I got rid of it.
I mean, that's fair. I hate ironing boards.
Does ironing board ever spark joy to anybody?
Oh no, they can when they're done right, but a lot of the times you end up with an IKEA one because it's just what's available, and they're really they're terrible.
Mine was squeaked, and I was like, "This doesn't spark joy." Every time you go to move the iron, it squeaks.
Trash can.
Trash. I got rid of it.
That'd be so annoying.
It was.
I love that thinking. That is awesome. All right. Well, that was one hell of a show. I want to thank you guys for coming on.
No problem.
Definitely be sooner than 6 years next time. And yeah, I think when we get back to New York, those of you who live in that area, let's have a get together. There's great street sales, if you don't know, in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a record guy, hopefully if he's still around, I love shopping at. So we should plan a Thrifty Business Thrifting Board day where we're hanging out all at the street shopping. And then we'll all go to 169 and drink beers.
Yes.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So sooner than later, as we all get comfortable and get vaccinated and come back to life. So yeah, let's do that. I think that'll be a fun day. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Good to see everybody. Don't forget Sunday, Mom and I will be here celebrating all mothers, especially mine, because it's her show. And but just want to demonstrate. So if you've got anybody that hasn't done this yet, that hasn't got to the point where Jason and Stephanie and Dave and Liz are, you can get there. You can get there. My folks started at absolutely nothing. The first day I taught my dad how to thrift in a thrift store, it was like, I want to bang my head against the wall. Hey, Dad, why didn't you buy these things that are worth money? Well, I don't like those things. That's not how this works, Dad. That's where we started. But they kick ass. And so anyone can do it. Anyone can do it with a little bit of guidance, a little bit of hand holding, and a computer or even a phone. You don't need a computer. So please have those friends, those family members tune in on Sunday, 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast. We're going to celebrate moms. We're going to talk about where my mom started, where she's at. And man, her turns are so fast. The stuff she showed last week, it's already half the sales for this week. I'm like, crap.
Oh my gosh.
I always buy a long-term thing. I got to wait. I got to wait for that person to show up with $200 for Kid Rock. Mom finds stuff and it's like you just showed this last week. It's already sold out. I don't get it. They're good at it, so everyone can do it. Tell your friends, tune in on Sunday, and no show next week, as I'll be at a tiki bar somewhere in the country. Where will Jason be? Stay tuned. All right, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Thanks, Jason.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Stephanie.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night.
We'll see you on the thrifting board, everybody. Bye bye. Maybe. Bye bye. Okay, world.